So I think I have an idea. And just this is like the maximum dystopian, like complete, like Orwell would not have been able to dream this shit up type of scenario. But basically, what's happening right now is the reason that the elites do not fucking care at all about climate change is because it will open up new resources, capitalism. The only fucking thing capitalism has ever cared about throughout all of history is, hey, how can we get more markets? How can we find a way to get more money? If that involves transporting slaves across the Atlantic, then they'll do it. And if that involves butchering Star Wars as a franchise, they'll do it. Morality is not part of the equation here. They just want fucking money. Like, I think that's really, really, really... I genuinely believe Disney execs would do the fucking transatlantic passage if they could get more money out of it. I fully 100% believe that. Yeah, so now operating with that mindset, yeah, there's a lot of resources trapped up there in the Arctic, and like a lot of sea lanes, a lot of like military bases. There's just so much there, and you don't want your competitors to get an unfair advantage because you were sitting on your hands. So yeah, and I guess that's sort of my idea as to what's happening. The people who are going to die are not necessarily the biggest issue because anti-human tech, I guess, like riot control, all that's developed. No, beyond riot control, the ability to sort of influence a culture, to dictate what the national conversation will be. Think about how, like, in the late 90s and 2000s, everybody in America was, like, always up in arms about climate change, and maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. But then, that jackass Bush gets into office, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, it's complicated, and there's a lot of issues, and are humans really causing it? I mean, who really? So, and that was intentional, by the way. That was an intentional thing that was done by oil execs, and they should die for that, but that's never going to happen. What I'm saying is the people in charge, capitalists, have gotten so good at these types of things and like riot control and, fear tactic, all that there is never going to be the ability of a population to rise up. That's not going to be possible anymore. And when that happens, there's nothing stopping them except for reality. And so let's take that mindset. Let's stick with that mindset for a sec. Somebody who has no limits on their behavior and does something destructive just because they like it. They can't stop themselves, right? Immediately my mind springs to alcoholism, right? Somebody who just can't get enough of the bottle, right? They can never put it down to save their fucking life. And then over the course of years or whatever, they just slowly wither into a shell of what they once were. Until eventually something breaks, Maybe you get a DUI. Maybe you get alcohol poisoning and you have like a near-death experience. Maybe you're just sitting there one day and you're like, what the fuck am I doing, man? It could be anything. Maybe you get arrested. Maybe you get drunk and you go into a blind rage and I don't know. It could be any one of these things. And then when that happens, that is reality just, right? It's like, no. Logically, logistically, this cannot continue. You need to change your behavior. Now, to relate that to the alcoholics who drink blood instead of liquor, who run our government, they're kind of going through that same mindset. Except when they hit that wall, it's civilization falling apart. It's the toys they play with breaking. Because this isn't gonna work, like climate change is gonna cause so much political unrest. The wealth of these people is just, it's gone. It's gonna snap like a fucking twig. Doesn't matter though. It doesn't change anything. Yeah, even if they position themselves on top of society, society will not be able to produce that type of wealth when they fucking destroy it. But hey, whatever, that's a problem for the 2040s. Yeah, this is just kind of my theory. Sorry, my voice is really fucked up right now. Well, I'd rather not disclose the activities I was getting up to that made my voice so raspy. It was oral sex. Bye.